Hi, I'm Stan, a Google certified project manager directly supporting program managers at Fortune 200 companies, where I've worked on several different projects. This is a video for my completely free project manager bootcamp. I'll show you exactly how projects are run, save you both time and money, while guiding you through a marketable project manager project for you to share in your interview. Let's land your dream project manager role together. I'm Stan the PM. Let's get started. Let's break down one of the most important skills in project management: how to handle issues, delays, and scope changes without your project falling apart. Issues are almost bound to happen, and you, as a good PM, are just so good that you're going to be catching them early. You see, something may break, or someone might be late, or a requirement just wasn't clear. To be prepared for anything that may come your way, you can use something like an issue log. So here's the issue log. When we take a look at the columns, we have issue ID, description, owner, impact level, status, resolution, and the date. Let's go through one quick example. So you can just note this down as issue number 1. And an issue that you may face is that the stakeholders may not be aligned in the project scope. This may result in a delay for sign-off, so we want to note this here. The owner of this may be Bob, and then you want to assess the impact level. It's important that everyone's on the same page, so the impact level of this one would be high. With the status, we're still going through this, so we would note this as in progress, and then you would think of a potential resolution. We can start with booking a scope alignment meeting, and the goal here is to obtain the required inputs by end of day Friday. And of course, your self-explanatory date column. Delays: how to handle them professionally. As a PM, a deadline might slip, and this is exactly where most people panic, but not you. Here's a way to handle it. First, take a step back and confirm the facts. What exactly is late and why? 2, assess its impact. How does this affect the timeline, the cost, and your team's workload? Then, ideally, brainstorm 2 to 3 options and/or solutions. You see, you don't just want to present the problem, right? Step 4, communicate this early and clearly. For example, you could say something like, here's the current status, here's the impact, and here are the options that we can take next. This reinforces trust, as you didn't just come to the table empty-handed. You came prepared with things such as potential resolution. Awesome. Now let's talk about scope changes. A scope change is any new request that wasn't part of the original plan, such as new features, extra requirements, additional deliverables, and as such. You see, priorities change, and that's okay. We just want everyone to be aligned with the new changes, the original plan, how it affects the original plan, and essentially come to an agreement if this is still in the best interest. A helpful tool that you can use is a change log. Within this change log, you have columns such as your change ID, description, requested by, impact, decision, effective date, and notes. You see, when someone asks for a change, you document key things such as what they want, who asked for it, the impact, and whether or not it's approved. With the first request that we see here, we see the description is access request for sales team. Could be requested by the sales director. We see this heavily impacts the timeline and increases the scope. Ultimately, we had to reject this, so there's no effective date. We note here that for this request, we're not saying no to it, rather we're able to defer and revisit this within phase 2. The second change was a request to add an automated email notification. Since this was such a minor scope increase and it did not impact our timeline at all, we ultimately were able to approve this for February 18, and we noted that this does not affect the sprint. Once you have this noted into your change log, you can have a better understanding overall of how this affects the project, how it impacts the timeline, and the resources. Ultimately, this allows you and everyone involved to be on the same page and come to an agreement on what should be prioritized or readjusted. This also stops scope creep immediately, because now as a team, we're aware of any potential costs that this new request may have. So you and your stakeholders can determine if it's worth it to make the adjustment. Up next, we'll cover how PMs work with cross-functional teams. This is where communication is key. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Stan the PM for Everything Project Management. If you want your time and money saved, a free bootcamp, and project to show in your next interview, make sure to click subscribe and let's land your dream project manager role together. Click here for the next video. See you there.